नमस्ते जागृति जी, कैसे हैं? हेलो। Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. कैसे हैं?
Yeah, fine, thank you. आप कैसे हैं?
बिल्कुल बढ़िया, बिल्कुल बढ़िया। तो 1-2 मिनट वेट कर लेते हैं, then we'll start the class.
हाँ, तब तक मैं एक जरा डाउट पूछ सकती हूँ आपको?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
मेरे को ना ये जो अपना ऑनलाइन रिसोर्सेस है तो वो मुझे वेबसाइट में कहीं नहीं मिले, तो फिर कैसे उसको मुझे डाउनलोड करना होगा?
कौन से ऑनलाइन रिसोर्सेज की बात कर रहे हैं आप?
जो हम लोगों को खुद से स्टडी करना है।
मैनुअल तो आपको भेजी हुई है ना, जो कोर्स मैनुअल है।
वो मुझे नहीं मिल रही है, कैसे उसको फाइंड आउट करना है?
आप मुझे मैसेज ड्रॉप कर दीजिए आज, तो मैं आपको भिजवा दूंगी या मैं खुद फॉरवर्ड कर दूंगी, लाइक मंगवा कर।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
ओके।
सौम्या जी, ये सर्टिफिकेट कैसे मतलब होगा?
आपके 2 एग्जाम्स होंगे, थ्योरी और प्रैक्टिकल। वो जब आप कंप्लीट कर लेंगे तो आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा।
ओके, फाइन। और वो ऑनलाइन मतलब डाउनलोड करना होगा?
आप एक बार वीडियोस फिनिश कर लेंगे प्री रिकॉर्डेड,
हाँ।
तो once again contact us. We will give you the theory questions. Once you answer the theory questions, you have to email those to us. Then एक बार वो चेक हो जाएगा आपका, तो फिर आप प्रैक्टिकल देने के and you pass, you will be eligible for the practical exam.
थैंक यू।
चलिए स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं फिर क्लास. We'll start the class. So back and neck straight. Close your eyes and watch your breath. Detaching from the past and the future, and just observing the breath. And now begin to deepen your breath. Inhale deeply, then hold your breath for 2 seconds, and then exhale deeply, taking a few breaths in this manner. Long, slow and deep inhalations, long, slow and deep exhalations. Relaxing your body and your mind with each exhalation. Prepare yourself for chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Om. Shanti. Relax. Join both your palms together in front of your chest and rub both the hands together. Place them over your eyes. And slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, open up your eyes. Namaste. चलिए आज की गेम एंड में खेलेंगे फिर, ठीक है? जो गेम है वो काफी एंगेजिंग गेम है, बट एंड में खेलते हैं आज, ठीक है? चलिए आज की क्लास स्टार्ट करेंगे. तो लास्ट टाइम हम वी लुक्ड एट द hindrances on the path of yoga. So today we are going to elaborate on that and look at the symptoms that come up when there is a mental disturbance, and then we're going to look at the solution. Okay, so I'll just share my screen. So Patanjali ji in his Yoga Sutras, he describes sahabhuvas, or I can say other obstacles. There are 4 other obstacles that he has defined in the Yoga Sutras. Okay, so the first one is dukkha, or pain. Second is dormanasya, or depression. Third one is just 𝐴𝐴𝐺𝐵, or shaking of the body. And the fourth one is shwas prashwas, PRA, shwas prashwas, or inhalation and exhalation. Okay. Okay, I'll begin. So we can say these are the other obstacles, or these can also be seen as the symptoms that show up when there is a mental disturbance. Okay, so when you sit to meditate, then a lot of pain comes up on the body. It's only because there are a lot of defilements in the mind, and they have a way of showing up on your body. Yeah, so when this pain comes up on your body, it is a sign that an obstacle has come up. That is an obstacle. If you observe that with equanimity in the mind, then you're able to get past this obstacle. But if you engage with this obstacle, your mind is totally on the pain, and not only is it on that pain, it is suffering because of it, because there is dvesh that is being generated within, because you want to remove that pain. It's something that is unpleasant. So if you go into this cycle of wanting and not wanting, liking and disliking, then you go along with this obstacle. So whenever you sit for meditation and pain comes up, there should be an instant awareness in the mind that, okay, now pain has come up. This is one of the obstacles and I have to get past this. Okay. And what happens is, all of these obstacles, like most of these obstacles, come in even for a normal person. He or she is not aware that these things are coming up in this form. both for a spiritual aspirant and for a normal person, pain does come up. Yeah. But you have to see, is the pain normal, coming out of normal disease or some normal thing, and or is it coming out of meditation? Because see, the spiritual pain that comes up, like there is a difference between both the pains that you experience in life. One is that, okay, I was walking somewhere, I fell down, I got hurt. But when you sit in meditation, some internal pain comes up. So that is the pain which is being talked of over here. The internal pain that comes up because that defilement of the mind is now being cleared out. Okay. Then the second thing that comes up when you sit for meditation is dormanasya. I can say dual mind or depression. It's also translated as depression. So when you sit in meditation, then you see that the mind is constantly, one, we have a monkey mind, okay, it's jumping from here to there. Yeah. And it's constantly changing places. So because it's constantly changing places and there is a duality, a lot of depression comes in. Like on a physical level, pain comes in. Once again, on a mental level, this dormanasya stage comes in or depression comes in. So when this happens, once again, bring your awareness to the fact that if one thing is existing, then the other will exist. Like if you believe that one thing is there, then the other thing will be there by default, because we live in a world of duality. If you want happiness, there is going to be sorrow attached with it. So two sides of the same coin. Rag hai to dvesh bhi hai. If you have craving, then you have aversion also. Okay. So when you sit for meditation, this state of mind comes up. And when this comes up, this duality comes up, it is a sign and symptom that now there is going to be a stoppage. Okay. So be aware and be alert of this thing. Because what happens is, so on a physical level, I ask you to see the pain that is coming up because of meditation. So for that moment, it is easy because it is showing up on the body and you can understand that pain, you can feel that pain. But when there is duality in the mind, it is harder to deal with that because it's on a thought level. So sometimes it happens on such a deep level that people don't recognize it. Yeah. There is duality inside a person, there is a conflict inside the person, but the person is not willing to accept that there is that thing. And once you come into acceptance, generally what happens is you're just like, you feel low because of it. So you stop over there. है ना? We say कि, okay, now this duality has come up and I have accepted it also, but now I'm sad because of it. So you have to avoid that. You don't have to engage in that duality. Once you step back and observe this thing, you will see that this mental duality also eventually dissolves. It fades away. So, but dormanasya is harder to recognize and to understand. Okay, understand until you sit for meditation and you see how much conflict is there within. Yeah. And it's much harder to deal with also. Okay. So now see how it gets a little subtle on each level, like as your meditation increases. Okay. It doesn't mean that a spiritual, this is a very good example that you will see. Like most people say that spiritual people don't feel sad or spiritual people don't experience pain. So that is not the case. That is what Patanjali ji understood. He knew that a spiritual aspirant also had to face those things. ऐसा नहीं है that if I do meditation, I'm a very peaceful and calm person, and no matter what situation comes up in a yogi's life also, like they are able to like avoid that pain. They're able to change their mental attitude towards that thing. That is what they work on, because they can't change the external circumstances. Yeah. And they cannot change the fact that there are a lot of defilements in the chitta which they have to take out. Yeah. They understand that that is going to come up in one form or the other. So they just change their mental attitude towards dealing with that thing. But that doesn't mean a person who is on the spiritual path will not get angry, will not get depressed or get anxious every once in a while. You will, but you don't have to stop there. Okay. Then the third thing that happens is shaking of the body. Now what happens is that your meditation teacher, she asks you to sit in meditation, and after a while maybe you're able to sit for that meditation, but you see that you feel like moving the body. Or sometimes what happens is both things happen. One thing is because of pain you feel like moving the body, so there is a change in the body posture. Okay, second thing is when you're sitting in meditation, sometimes you see that you feel that the body is moving. A very common example of this is people feel that something like this is going along their spine. Some movement is there when they sit in meditation and they think they have gone deep. Yeah. So this shaking of body is doing what? There is, it's the mind's way to stop you from moving ahead in your meditation. Now, once you think ki, like your eyes are closed, you can't see anything, and you're feeling that movement in the body, you'll immediately have the urge to open up your eyes. So what will happen is your meditation practice will break over there. Okay. So this shaking of the body also takes place when you are meditating, and you need to understand that when this happens, then also you, this is an obstacle. So what I described was on a very subtle level though, like sometimes we feel that the body is moving, but sometimes we actually move our body and we are not consciously aware of that during meditation. So that also happens, that the body starts shaking, that on a physical level also it starts shaking, shivering ho jati hai. There's a lot of shivering that some people experience. So that once again becomes an obstacle. क्यों? Because flow टूट गया, your flow is broken. Okay. Then the fourth one is shwas prashwas. Okay.
तो आपने शेकिंग ऑफ बॉडी बोला ना, वो एकदम सेकंड्स के लिए होता है, अगेन रिज्यूम हो जाता है मेडिटेशन, ऐसा बहुत बार होता है, तो वो क्या है?
एक बार फिर से बोलो।
जैसे मेडिटेशन में बैठे हैं ना, तो कुछ सेकंड्स के लिए ही होता है, अगेन वापस हम रिज्यूम कर लेते हैं मेडिटेशन, लेकिन एक तो हल्का सा बोलते हैं ना, ऐसा झटका आया, ऐसा बार बार होता है मेरे साथ। जबकि मेडिटेशन में थोड़ा आगे जाती हूँ, उसके बाद एकदम शुरुआत में नहीं होता है, बहुत होता है।
तो वो ऑब्स्टिकल है, वो रोकने की कोशिश कर रहा है, इट्स ट्राइंग टू स्टॉप यू. So just be in an observing state at that point of time, because as you are also saying that it comes and it then it fades away, it goes away. तो उस चीज के साथ वैसे ही न्यूट्रल होकर आपने डील करना है कि ओके दिस इज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ माय मेडिटेशन, सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू ओपन अप माय आईज, और आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू suddenly like change my posture because I feel that something is happening to my body. तब आपका the focus and determination with which you sit comes into play, है ना? तो एक take a sankalp or a strong determination that now no matter what happens for 5 or 10 minutes I'm going to sit and do this meditation, like body हिले कुछ भी हो, anything that comes up I'm going to sit still, है ना? इस चीज को आप ऐसे धीरे धीरे करके you can tackle this thing. It will eventually fade away. Okay, but it is very common. Once again, it does happen a lot. Then this last one is shwas prashwas. Okay, so your inhalation and exhalation. So there was a reason why yogis came up with the concept of kumbhak. It's because they understood that after a while in meditation, when you go in on a deeper level, the way in which your breath moves or the movement of the breath itself is going to cause a disturbance in your meditation. So they started practicing kumbhak and started prolonging that period with time, because they understood that when they go into deep level of meditation, then even their inhalation and exhalation will disturb their meditation. Okay, and it does happen when you sit in meditation and you go really deep. Then first thing what happens is you think that your breath is not there anymore. Okay, so a lot of people like get afraid because of that and they open their eyes. Okay, so initial level that starts happening, that the breath becomes very subtle, and after a while, like we discussed kevli kumbhak, naturally there is a kumbhak that happens. Yeah, but when that kumbhak doesn't come naturally to you, तब क्या होता है, and you go at that deep level, then what happens is each inhalation and each exhalation leads to what? Movement in chit. Okay, and when there is movement in chit, there is a distraction over there. Okay, so yogis realized this thing, that with each inhalation exhalation chitta is also moving. That is why when we control the breath and we calm down our breath, our mind also calms down somewhere, because again it's a one part of the chit, but yes, with breath we are able to control the chit. That's my point. Okay, so wo hota hai. So when the inhalation and exhalation is going on and you're on a very subtle level, then it becomes a distraction or obstruction. It doesn't allow you to go on a deeper level. So the concept of practicing kumbhak came in, because no, it doesn't come naturally very easily. Yeah, it takes years of practice even to prolong thoda a little like time of kumbhak. Yeah, because you are stopping your breath and it is a very tough thing. So these, like, that is why all of these concepts in yoga came in, because these obstacles were realized actually by yogis. So these four things will come up as symptoms when there is a mental disturbance. Okay, आपका सांस हिल जाएगा. You will see that when you are in a particular mood, your breath is different. Then you are in a particular mood, your breath is different. So breath is a very good indication of how your mind is, है ना? Same way, this daur manasya, it's a very good indication when you go into this duality of mind. Then it's a very good indication that okay, now there is some mental defilement, yeah, that is coming up. So start becoming aware of these things in day-to-day life also. These will help you a lot. You will just recognize, okay, now I have a conflict in my mind. Okay, I understand this is here to disturb me. Okay, I'll just observe it. With time it will pass away. Trust me, no pain and no shaking of body or depression has ever lasted forever. Yeah, when you sit for meditation and first 2 3 few classes and everybody just like, oh, I'm having pain over here, over there, but with time you realize that that pain will go away. Nobody died because of that pain ever. Yeah, because it has a tendency of dissolving. Yeah, it's that is when you begin to understand that it is actually an obstacle, that it won't take away your life, I can say, or cause danger to your life. It will eventually pass away. So we become aware of these and then just have this understanding that with time it will also go away. It is impermanent. Yeah. Okay. Any doubts so far? No? Okay. Okay. So now how to tackle these things? Now we understood the problem. We know what all things will happen. So he then in the coming sutras, he gave the concept of Chitta Prasadan. Okay. So, or how we make the mind happy. Yeah. Okay. So these are basically mental attitudes. Okay. That one adopts. If you don't have peace of mind, then it is, or there are a lot of vrittis in your mind at this point of time, then it is very difficult for you to concentrate. Okay. So when you practice these mental attitudes, you experience a lot of peace and settlement in your mind itself. And when you experience that, then it is very easy for you to concentrate on something. Even concentration is very hard when we are in a very gross state of mind. And sometimes you're feeling so sad and we're just like, right now I can't sit in meditation. Like, take me out for a walk or let me just go and play something. But meditation I cannot sit for. So by adopting these mental attitudes, you will see that there is a stability that comes in mind with time. Okay. So first one that he gave was friendliness towards happy people. Okay. Then we have compassion towards unhappy people. Then we have delight or I can say, what's the other word that's used for this? Gladness. Towards virtuous people, it's spelling. And last is an indifference towards people who are full of vice or ill will. Okay. Any doubt?
है ना, मैं जब भी पतंजलि सूत्र पढ़ती हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि महर्षि जी ने ऐसा क्यों कहा कि जो लोग, उसमें ऐसा मेंशन किया हुआ है कि जो लोग रिच है उनसे आप मैत्री भाव रखो, और जो लोग मतलब हीन है, मतलब दयनीय है, उनसे आप मतलब कि कौन सा करुणा का भाव रखो, और जो लोग इविल मतलब अच्छे प्रवृत्ति में इंडल्ज नहीं रहते उन लोगों से आप उपेक्षा का भाव रखो। तो रिच लोगों से मैत्री भाव तो मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया था।
ये
तो मेरा परसेप्शन गलत होगा शायद।
हाँ, मैं बता रही हूँ एक्चुअली there are a lot of commentaries on the Yoga Sutra. So it depends on which commentary you have read. Maybe some commentator would have translated this in that way. But general meaning, generally people like people who are happy, उनके साथ friendship रखो, ठीक है? So I'm explaining all of them. Okay. So people who are happy, like we say, good vibes. Yeah. Some people just give us very good and positive vibes. So towards them, keep friendliness. We also call it Maitri. Yeah. Maitri ka bhav rakho. So because you become like your environment. Your environment has a very heavy impact on your day-to-day life, your day-to-day practice, how you conduct yourself every day. Okay. And not only your environment, the people around you. Okay. They greatly reflect who you are. More than who they are, understanding who they are, they are a reflection of who we are. Okay. So if you are around happy people, you will see that you are happy yourself. You are in a positive mindset yourself. And once again, when you get surrounded by people who have a negative attitude, then you see that you also start becoming negative, or you also start experiencing those emotions very strongly. So keep a friendly attitude towards somebody who is happy. Okay. दोस्त बनाओ, अच्छे से friendship करो, make your circle like positive vibes only kind of circle. Yeah. Then the second thing is compassion towards the unhappy. Okay. Ab now you understand that okay, happy people ke sath to I have to be friendly, but there is so much of suffering and sadness in this world. Yeah. And there are so many people who are unhappy, genuinely unhappy. They don't have the understanding that they can elevate themselves. You know? One thing is recognizing there is a problem. Okay, some people get there, but some people don't have that understanding that okay, this is something I can get out of. They think that that is life itself. Yeah. So towards such people who are very unhappy, sad, you see that, show compassion. Show compassion towards such people because they need it. They need it the most. When you're compassionate towards such people, you see that their belief really goes up. You know, right now they are in that circle where they think that things cannot change. But once they come across such people, or when yogis used to come across everybody who was unhappy, right? Everybody is suffering. So yogis what showed compassion, showed them the way. So show them compassion in whatever form you can. Right now, we're not, we cannot show them, like give them exact meditation path or some things, but whatever way in which you can help them and show compassion, do that towards people who are unhappy. Okay. Once again, it's a mental attitude. ठीक है? ऐसा नहीं है कि like when I'm around happy people, I'm forcing myself to become very friendly with them. Mentally, I'm in an acceptance mode that okay, this person is good for me and I have a very peaceful and good interaction with them. है ना? Mind में change आता है इन चीजों के towards. ठीक है? Because you will meet all four types of people in your life. So understand which category they are falling in and then deal with them accordingly. These things are like they were written ages ago, but they are really helpful in life management even today, like even common life management. Yeah. Then you meet virtuous people in your life. People you meet and you see that they are like punya atma bola unko. Okay, they are very virtuous. They have a lot of like I can say good karma, and you can see them by the see that by the way they conduct themselves. Yeah. So when you meet such people, accept them with a lot of delight and gladness. Okay, this person is in my life. There is a lot I can gain out of this person. Yeah. So change your attitude towards such people when you meet them. Accept them. Yeah. And then you meet the fourth type of people who are genuinely holding ill will in their mind for you. And this does happen. Like, I'm not saying that they do it intentionally. Sometimes it's not intentional also. So that is another discussion altogether. But sometimes people do have a lot of ill will in their mind. Yeah. So when such people come in your life and you know that, okay, this person is going to have ill will for me and nothing else, then you have to become detached or be indifferent towards them because there is no other choice you have. You can either engage in whatever they are telling you or the way in which they are treating you, but you can be indifferent and detach yourself from that thing and make sure that at least you are out of that thing. Because if you engage with them, then you will create a cycle will never stop if you are reacting in the same way that the other person is reacting. Yeah, then you are going in that same cycle again and again. उसको नहीं रोक पाओगे. But if you do something to stop it, if you detach yourself, then at least you can make sure you are not becoming a part of that cycle. पूछो.
कई बार ऐसा होता है कि वो डिटेच करना मुश्किल होता है बिकॉज आपका रिलेशन वो पर्सन के साथ ऐसा होता है कि यू कैन डिटेच, आपको फेस करना ही है.
इसमें फेस करने की बात, this has nothing to do with facing that person or not facing that person. That is why the word indifference is used and not ignore and indifference when there is difference. Yeah. If I want to ignore someone, I will avoid them. Yeah, I will avoid each and every interaction that I have with them. I will try to minimize that. But over here you will find such people in your life and they will be around you. That's a basic assumption. Mentally kaise hona hai, how do you have to change yourself mentally is you become indifferent towards them, not in action that you are showing ki are I'm indifferent towards you, because that is some aggression that is coming out when you're intentionally showing them that I am being indifferent towards you. It's in the mind that there is so much peace when you are even interacting with them. Why? Because there is a sense of detachment that you feel when you face them. तो indifference develop करना शुरू जब होगा internally, when you start doing that, then you will see that you are okay with such people around you. You accept that okay, such people are going to exist around me. I cannot change that. I can only change how I view that entire situation. वो indifference धीरे धीरे with meditation, with such practices, that develops. Pehle you must like earlier you must get angry because of 10 things. Now you will get angry because of 9 things when such people are around you. है ना? it's a very slow process. Okay, and all of these things develop with time. Now today I tell you all of these mental attitudes, and tomorrow you're just like, today my class was on this, tomorrow I will do all of these. Like I will, if I meet someone with positive eyes, I will be very friendly. And but it doesn't happen that fast, that quickly, even when we know, because we have to work on ourselves continuously, consistently. वो with time आ जाएगा. don't uh, uh, don't go into black and white when you are going in these mental attitudes, at least for in the beginning, because these also come naturally. You cannot force, I cannot force myself to be friendly. Yeah, and I know the hidden intention behind whatever I'm doing. So sometimes what happens is, the indifference example only, we try to show that we are indifferent towards someone who hasn't treated us well, है ना, हम show करते हैं. But what is going on inside, there is so much anger. Everything is like getting stored inside, and you are just looking for the right opportunity to burst on that person. So this is an internal cleansing thing. Like he said it on a very deep level basically. So develop these four attitudes in your life to see how, like, at least start becoming aware of the kind of people who are coming in, and then try. Acha, koi acha aaya, somebody who is good, then I will give him positive vibes. Then I will see how I can be friendly in whatever capacity I can authentically be friendly. ऐसा नहीं है कि go out of your way and ignore your needs, or do extra of anything. Whatever is in your capacity, deal with these people in that manner. But the base line, or the base I can say intention or attitude is this. You can experience varying degrees of these things ना, when you interact. वे इतना black and white तो नहीं होता कुछ भी, तो धीरे धीरे step by step process. Any doubt? No? Okay. Chalo. So today we will end our discussion over here. So I will share my screen. We'll play today's game. Okay, so the game is called Epic or Fail. Okay, so what happens is, like, I'll play the video, and basically uh, she is going to play a video. Okay, and everybody, she will pause a video at a particular moment. Okay, and then everybody has to decide, is it going to be like an epic thing, or is it going to be like a failure? Okay, and I will also pause the video when she does that, so that you can answer which one is it. Okay, and then we'll see what happens in the video. Okay, so I'll just play this.
It's time to play Epic or Fail, and you'll play along. Get your paddles, they're under your seats. Let's see the first video.
It's audible, right? Okay. Okay. Epic or fail?
Fail, fail.
Let's see.
No, I don't know. All right, let's see.
Good. Right guess.
That did not work out.
Epic.
All right, let's see the next one.
Okay. Epic or fail? Which one do you think is going to be? No? Let's see.
Well, I don't know if it would be called. I think it's going right into that lens, don't you? Let's see.
Ouch.
That's pretty epic, I think. Pretty epic for that shot. Let's see the next one.
So what do you think? It's going to be epic or fail?
Epic.
Epic? Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, but it could be a mislead. Maybe something really amazing happens. I think it's a mislead.
Oh. Yep.
There's
Okay.
nothing good about that at all. It's terrible for everyone involved. Let's see the next one.
Okay. Epic or fail?
Straight.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. It's about half and half on this one. Let's see. I tried that earlier and I couldn't do it. Let's see the next one.
What do you think?
Fail. Fail.
Fail. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, there's a few of you who think this is going to work out for this guy. Let's see. Well, he was having fun up to that point, though. He was singing. All right, let's see the next one.
Okay. Epic or fail?
Epic.
Let's see.
Something good happens there, I think.
Nice.
Epic.
Wow, that's amazing. Very impressive. Let's see the next one.
This is Macintosh, and this is a treadmill ball jump.
Okay. What do you think?
Fail.
Now, some of y'all really have a lot of hope, and that's good.
Ouch.
Horrible. Oh my God, let's see the next one.
Okay. Sorry?
Epic.
Okay.
I think he's going to get hurt. Oh, that's how you play epic or fail. If you want to see more epic or fail videos, go to ellentube.com.
Okay. Yeah, that was a fun session. Yeah. You'll find longer videos on YouTube if you liked it. There are a lot of videos related to this. Okay, so today's homework is one is that you will see that because whenever you practice, go into any spiritual practice, then what are the symptoms that you are seeing? Are you seeing pain? Which one of them is most common for you? Okay, so you will note that down. This is a personal diary thing, you don't have to submit it to me, just a self introspection thing. And second, you have to start now that you know the 4 types of people that come in your life, then start understanding which one is which and deal with them accordingly. This is the second task. This is a day-to-day life practice only. Okay, so these 2 things, start incorporating these things in your life. Okay, so we'll close today's session. Back in next straight. Gently close your eyes and allow all of this information to seep in. And take one deep breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. We'll chant Om one time, followed by 3 shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join both your palms together in front of your chest and just bow down. Remember any one incident from your past 24 hours that you are grateful for and say a mental thank you. And now rub both the palms together. Place them over your eyes. And slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, open up your eyes, come back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.